The year is wrapping up, so I thought I'd make a video where I showed some of my favorite tech that I used over the course of 2023, and as usual, there's a whole bunch of white tech back there, but there's a PC build back there that's been waiting for these parts to show up. An RTX 4090, like the white one from Asus, plus some white RAM. I'm stoked to finally put these things into that system. It's been like months. All right, we're gonna start this video back here. So the PC build first. This was built into a case called the Height Y60. I chose this case simply because of the design aesthetic. I love that kind of beveled glass window look. So this has a newer version, the Y70, but it doesn't have this glass panel. It's like a screen, which I think some people love, but I love this case. I think it looks super cool. And it's the main reason why I even built a larger system this year, just because of the existence of this case. Now inside we have a 14th gen Intel system. We got an Asus motherboard, Corsair RAM, but the star of the show, the thing that I'm like nerdly excited about, was this GPU. So this is an RTX 4090 in white, and it's specifically the Asus Strix one. I wanted this thing for months. I couldn't get it in. It was out of stock everywhere in Toronto, in Canada, and I was finally able to get one in, and I think it looks so sick. It kind of like makes the whole setup just look a certain way. I love it. And it also has like awesome aerodynamics, like you saw previously. Now this screen is a 49-inch OLED display, and I think this fundamentally changed the way that I work in this studio. So I am primarily a laptop user. So I would say 80% of the time I'm on a laptop. But when I would bring my laptop into work with any other previous monitor, any kind of widescreen, I would have to unplug all the peripherals, unplug the keyboard, mice from my desktop, and then replug it into the laptop. So I just found it a little bit annoying, or I'd have to have a completely different setup for the laptop stuff. But with this thing, with the screen, it has a built-in KVM switch, and it's so awesome. So as an example, this is just a MacBook. You can do this with any laptop, but single cable, I plug it up, and this allows me to use one set of peripherals, so one keyboard, one mouse, one monitor, one set of speakers, and share it between two different systems without unplugging or replugging anything. It's so cool. And even better is that you can have one system like the MacBook here and then one desktop and share the screen so that it's split like this. So on the left, I have the MacBook running, and on the right, I have the Windows PC. And it's one set of peripherals that controls both systems. And the crazy thing is that the mouse travels between the two screens or the two systems. So I can move like I'm on the Mac OS side here. I'm moving the thing around, and I don't know if you can catch it in that camera, but I move it over, the cursor travels through that gap, and now I can control the Windows system. It's crazy. Like you can even play a game. Like I can have Overwatch running, I can shoot stuff, play, look at those sweet shots, and then I'll tab, bring my mouse over, and I'm back into my Mac system. It's awesome, and obviously it works with Windows laptops as well. You can even drag and drop files between the two systems. So I can click a file on the Mac, drag it through that split screen, and then drop it onto the Windows desktop. It's so cool. And you can do all of this because of this screen without any kind of third-party hardware or crazy software. It's just built right into one piece of hardware. It's awesome. So the display itself is wonderful. It's an OLED, the colors pop, it's got great contrast ratios, awesome for games, awesome for media consumption, especially with its HDR capabilities. Okay, moving on to other peripherals. The keyboard that I used the most this year was this thing. This is an older keyboard. It's from a company called Mode Designs. It's their 80. It's running Milkshake keycaps. It's got the original Holy Pandas, like the OG Inver Holy Pandas. And these guys also customized the base plate. They put my logo on the bottom, which looks awesome. Another keyboard that I really like still is the Bauer from OmniType. And Nathan over from Tehai Types, he did a full customized version of that for me. I really like that keyboard, but in terms of the usability and practicality, I like the extra keys on the 80. Okay, in terms of the mice, I changed my mouse this year. So in the past, for the past like 3 or 4 years, I've been using the Logitech G Pro series. So the G Pro Wireless, and then moved over to the G Pro Superlight, and then the Superlight 2 in the middle of this year. But there was an issue that I had with these mice. They didn't have Bluetooth. Not that I lean on Bluetooth, but if I ever forgot the dongle at home or had to connect to a system like a MacBook and I didn't have like the ability to use the dongle, I just want Bluetooth capabilities. So I went on this hunt. I found a few. So the first one I tried was this thing. This is the Alienware 720M. It does have Bluetooth capabilities if you need it, as well as your standard RF connection. But I don't love the shape of it, but it did have that tri-mode, which I was looking for. But then I also found this thing. This is the Dexter from Electronics. I don't know how this thing's so cheap. 35 bucks, great sensor, great switches, Bluetooth as well. So it's like very solid, but again, I don't love the shape. This is very much like it's like a Death Adder shape. But then I found this mouse. And I think this is the mouse built for me. So this is from Asus. It's the Harpy Ace. First of all, the color, white and blue, but it has Bluetooth if you need it. It also has RF connectivity for regular gaming, but it has an excellent shape. I actually prefer the shape over the G Pro Wireless. I don't know how they're doing it, but it's like a slightly flatter version of the G Pro Wireless. I love it. And also, the dongle fits in the back and it doesn't need a cover to close it up. I'm getting so sweaty about mice, but you know what? This is my video. I get to do this. Okay, normally on a wireless mouse, wireless gaming mouse, if you have a dongle that can slot into the back of the device, usually there's like a cap or a cover. They have to like remember to take off the cap, put the dongle in, put the cap back on, and then you take it with you. But on this one, the dongle just goes right into the back, right into that slot. No cap, you can't lose it. It's awesome. I love that mouse. Okay. The mouse pad, this hasn't changed. I've had this same mouse pad for like 2-3 years. This is the Razer Pro Glide. It's like 10 bucks. It's white, it's soft, without the kind of braided edges that a lot of white mouse pads have. Love this mouse pad. Okay, speakers. So these are the Kanto Tux. I would argue that these are the best looking kind of mid-range powered speakers you can get on the market. They're white, they have a very unique design aesthetic to them, and they're made by a Canadian company, and they sound really good. So it's a win-win-win. A couple more pieces of audio stuff. So this is the Launch Key Mini that only comes in black, but I turned it white because I'm crazy like that. And this is an OP1 from Teenage Engineering. This is an older device, but it's a lot of fun to play with. I started to get into it a little bit more this year, but this is some of the music stuff that I've been toying with. Okay, let's go with here. So this is the Apple Watch that I wear. It's the Apple Watch Ultra 1 from last year. I use this occasionally when I'm working out, but the cool thing about this one is the strap. So this strap, it glows in the dark. It's from Nomad Goods. This was like a limited edition strap that's white, kind of white when you're looking at it in like regular lighting, but in the dark, it glows. My kids love that thing. The base that I have it charging on, so this is also from Nomad Goods. It's just their base station. This is super convenient. You just have like everything plugs up to it. You can have your like AirPods if you have AirPods, your watch, and then your phone. And the two phones that I use are these two. So this is the iPhone 15 Pro Max and a Pixel 7. This used to have one of those X-ray skins as well, but then my daughter... Okay, so this back plate cracked. You can see the crack on the glass. And then I got a skin for it. My daughter hated the skin and she wanted to be like, put on this jellyfish instead. So now this jellyfish lives on here, but it still charges despite that puffy jellyfish sticker. Okay, I think that wraps up this stuff. Onto some other devices. So in terms of handhelds, a lot of cool handheld devices this year. The one that I thought was my favorite was the ROG Ally. I think that this was the perfect handheld for my personal uses, only because of its size. It's super powerful, super compact, but it's so much smaller than the other devices on the market. Anytime I traveled, like if I was trying to bring a Steam Deck, I'd stick it in my bag and just be like this huge chunk in there. So I was like, the Ally is where I traveled with. I really like this thing. This is strangely powerful for how compact it is. Also, I'm very happy, and if I'm being honest, a little bit surprised at how well supported this product has been since its launch. Like I was worried that Asus would kind of drop support or kind of cool down on the updates and just how well they supported this product over time, but they've kept up. Very impressed. Okay, in terms of the laptops, so at the beginning of the year, the first white laptop that came out that I started using was the Asus G14. I've always liked this device, but I just like bigger screens these days. I just found the 14-inch a little bit too small, went with I wanted a larger screen, so then I started using this thing. So this is the Prometheus. Let me move this stuff over for a second. So the second laptop that I really liked was the Prometheus 17. So this is the second gen actually. This is the system that has the water cooling. But this year, their water cooling stuff is so much more intuitive. It's like a quick disconnect and quick connect magnetic system. There's no kind of screws or anything. It's just click, it's in and out. Very effective and very fast water cooling. But I found the system a little bit big. And for what I do, I don't need like a super large screen. I thought the perfect screen size was like a 16-inch, but I couldn't find a 16-inch that fit in my bag and that I really liked the look of, except for the Razer Blade. Now, the Blade 16, a little bit thicker this year, the Thick-16, this was a device that I really, I enjoyed. I did a good review on it, but as you'll notice, it's black. Okay, so this came in an RTX 4090 configuration in black. That was the only configuration that you could get with a 4090. They did offer a mercury colored one, like a kind of silvery white design, but the max configuration you get on this system was a 4080. So, because I'm stupid, I decided to open up both the laptops and then swap the internals. It took so much longer than I thought it would. Partially because it was a little bit complex, but mostly because I didn't label any of the screws. And after I'd opened them up and all the screws were all over the place, I was like, oh my gosh, what have I done? So it took me like over 2 hours to get them up, but I did it. I didn't screw up any of the screws. And so when I return them back to Razer, these are loaners, I'm probably gonna have to swap them unless they don't watch this video and I don't even tell them. And then they're a little confused. Maybe we'll just do that. Okay, over here, headphones. So this is probably the only device here that isn't a white colorway. So these are the HD6XXs, HD6XXs. It's like that collaboration from Drop and Sennheiser. I think these are the best headphones. I'm surprised at how good they are for this kind of price point. They're not particularly nice looking. I'd argue that they're actually super ugly, in my opinion, but they sound awesome. And for edits, like when we're doing the sound stuff, like some of the stuff at the very beginning of the video, we did like the throw and the stuff, all that sound, you gotta have decent headphones for that. So I use those. Okay, the bag. So this is a relatively new bag. I got this like 6 months ago. It's from Earth, spelled U-R-T-H, not E-R, or E-A. And what makes it cool, I mean, obviously it's white, so it's automatically cool, but this is made with a material that doesn't pick up any kind of dirt. So all the other white bags I've had before, like kind of fabric cloth bags, I'd bring them on planes, I'd travel with them, and they just get super nasty and I'd have to wash them all the time. This, never washed it. I think it's because the fabric is like this nylon that just doesn't get dinged up. I like it. White bag, Earth. Okay, I think that wraps up the tech, or that kind of tech. I did this last year, so I kind of do it again. I want to show you my fish tank, or like the stuff I've changed in it. It's only one main change. Last year, I had this like tree branch in there, or like a piece of wood that had these like green moss things growing on the top to kind of give it like a fake tree look. I got rid of that tree thing and replaced it with these red plants. These are a Rotala Singapore Super Red variant. They're supposed to be somewhat rare, and I got them just because they're so vibrant and easy to maintain its color, which, being lazy, is perfect for me. The light still remains the same. It's a Chihiros lamp. I run CO2 on this thing, and it's a fairly maintenance-free system. But that's basically it. That's the stuff that I've used over the course of 2023. Hope you guys enjoyed this video.